Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's do the quick formalities as always. Let me know you can hear me. We had a bit of a technical issue yesterday, but we sorted that out quite quickly. So I hope you can all hear me. Just let me know. Yesterday, what fantastic live stream. To speak to people like us who have been over in France is important because people need to understand how it operates, how it's dealt with, how it's done, and how easy it is with the right mindset and the right attitude to go there and to do what's needed. So tonight is going to be another opportunity for you to hear a testimony, a story from a young lad that I have known for a while. He is dedicated to the cause. He's dedicated to doing what's right, and he actually did a report for, I'm going to try it, Vox Populi. He told me it means for the people. So I want to start tonight by showing you this video. It speaks for itself. I think it's very powerful. Fair play to him. He's clearly got a very good future ahead of him. His name's James Harvey. Great lad. I've known him for many years. I've seen him at many events, and he's got a very, very bright future. But I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to let you, I want you to watch this because it's important that you watch it because they've obviously gone to some degree to get this put together. And I think it's important that we give it the attention that it deserves. So let me just bring this in quickly. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's do the quick formalities as always. Let me know you can hear me. We had a bit of a technical issue yesterday, but we sorted that out quite quickly. So I hope you can all hear me. Just let me know. Yesterday, what fantastic live stream. To speak to people like us who have been over in France is important because people need to understand how it operates, how it's dealt with, how it's done, and how easy it is with the right mindset and the right attitude to go there and to do what's needed. So tonight is going to be another opportunity for you to hear a testimony, a story from a young lad that I have known for a while. He is dedicated to the cause. He's dedicated to doing what's right, and he actually did a report for, I'm going to try it, Vox Populi. He told me it means for the people. So I want to start tonight by showing you this video. It speaks for itself. I think it's very powerful. Fair play to him. He's clearly got a very good future ahead of him. His name's James Harvey. Great lad. I've known him for many years. I've seen him at many events, and he's got a very, very bright future. But I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to let you, I want you to watch this because it's important that you watch it because they've obviously gone to some degree to get this put together. And I think it's important that we give it the attention that it deserves. So let me just bring this in quickly.
Teachers of Britain asked if I'd like to join them in France, not as an activist, but as a journalist.
We have two weeks here. Maybe one next month.
Is it really possible to Dunkirk, physically confront the migrant gang and completely halt the dinghies from reaching UK shores? Or are there any alternative routes and approaches that achieve a better result? People heading to Calais, from UKIP to Raise the Flags to Montgomery Toms, and now us. A few friends from Patriots of Britain asked if I'd like to join them in France, not as an activist, but as a journalist. With figures like Danny Tomo having raised over £200,000 on the claim he can stop the boats, I wanted to see for myself whether that's actually achievable. Is it really possible to go to Calais or Dunkirk, physically confront the migrant gangs on the beaches, and completely halt the dinghies from reaching UK shores? Or are there any alternative routes and approaches that achieve a better, but there are no people smugglers, just NGOs? And whether that's actually true. I arrived in Dover at 7:30 a.m, ready for our 9 a.m. ferry to Calais. Once we landed in France, we headed straight to Gravelines. It used to be home to multiple migrant camps located. Camps usually last about a week before the police ask them to move on, and they settle in a different location. They usually have 9 to 10 locations, which they shuffle between as the police move them on every week or so to give the appearance they're actually doing something. What struck me, though, was just how far the illegal immigrants have to walk while carrying those inflatable boats. After driving around for a while, we finally spotted a migrant camp tucked near the railway line. Getting down to it looked a bit tricky.
I'm just going to pause that there. Some people are saying that's lagging. A lot of people are saying broken audio. Okay, well, you get the gist of it. What we need, I'm going to do is when I've finished this video, I'm going to put that description of that video in the description so you can go and watch it properly. If it's lagging, I don't want to wait. It's 20 minutes long, so if it's not, it was lagging, yeah. Okay, so the point of this is just to give you an intro who James is. James decided to go over there and to do a report, and I want to get his feelings on it, and I wanted to contact him. And I know that he's now in the studio waiting to come in. Yeah, so listen, for anyone that's looking at this and talking about going over there and seeing for what it is, I need to make people aware that there are other people that went over there. There are other people that have done what we've done, and there's other people that can categorically state that with the right mindset, with the right people, you can go over there and you can show your presence. You can be loud and proud. You don't have to use any violence. You don't commit any crimes. You don't have to commit any stupidness. And I felt when I saw James's video, he was right. At the beginning, I didn't believe that the majority were people smugglers. Now that I've managed to have the months and months of research and everything else, and I've got insiders sending me actual evidence, I do believe that there is people smugglers, but not to the mass level that I believe that people think it is. I think a lot of these migrants don't have a penny. There are some that have money. There are some that are offered, and there are some that pay. And there are some violence that's committed against people that try and get on the boats for free. I know that's a fact. So I want to bring James in, and I just want James to get me his feeling, get me how he felt when he got there, his vibe, what he saw, and what he sees for the future. So James, good evening.
Good evening, mate. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. First off, we did try and play the whole video, but I think there's been some lagging. So, unfortunately, my internet isn't fantastic. So I think that's probably one of the issues. But we're going to put that video in the description for people to watch. They got the gist of you being in France. Let's talk over it. So what happened when you got there? How did you get there first off? What sort of mode of transport did you use to get to France?
So I did have a message from Patriots of Britain. They invited me to come along with them to France. They go at least once a month. It's a group of fantastic guys, by the way, if anyone wants to give them a follow on Twitter. But they invited me up to France to basically just kind of go there with an open mind, right? We hear a lot of things online. People say it's the NGOs that are trafficking them. There are people who say that there are no people smugglers. There are also people who say there are people smugglers. And there's a lot of conflicting reports, right? So I went out there not as an activist, but as a journalist, as I said in that video, with a completely open mind. I didn't know what I was expecting to see. And, you know,
how did you get over there, though? Just James, how did you get there? How did you get there?
So I do prefer flying, but one of the guys from Patriots of Britain isn't too, he's not too keen on flying, so he ended up going over on a ferry.
Okay. From Dover,
Yeah, from Dover. So it was a 7:30. I left at 5 in the morning, got to the port around 7:30, and we arrived in Dover around 10 a.m. roughly.
Okay, nice and easy then.
Yeah. I mean, it's an extremely easy place to get to, really, isn't it? France. It's literally just across the channel. You've been there countless times now. It's 2 hours on the ferry? So it's an easy place to get to. I mean, when we arrived, we spent, I think the first part of that journey was driving up to Gravelines, where there are a lot of, typically there were a lot of migrant camps.
It's not far, is it, from Calais to Gravelines? It's 20-minute drive.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, ain't far at all.
Yeah.
We got up there, and as you know, the police do move on these camps really quickly. So they usually a camp lasts about a week, and then it's moved on by police because they want to give the appearance they're actually doing something. And so these camps like shuffle between about 5-6 different locations, which get moved along every week by these police. But they kind of
go to. Do you know which one it was? Was it the?
Oh, it was just by the railway line. I can't remember the name of it. I'm not sure I'd be able to pronounce it. But I mean, if you saw, so Montgomery Thomas also went there a couple of months ago. It seems to be quite a big problem. Like I discussed this in a video. While the government, if you remember in November, the government said there was 30 days of no crossings, right? No one coming along over in a dinghy. Well, actually, the location where we were, further inland, right, was away from Calais and Dunkirk. Yeah, it was about 20, 30 minutes away. So because it's further inland, those camps don't use boats. They use lorries, trains, etc. to reach their location, right? So when you're hearing online...
You get the appearance that they're not coming, but actually...
Exactly. You're being told that, oh yeah, because there's no boat crossings, because there's a bit of bad weather, that there are no migrants entering the UK. That is factually, that's false. There are tons that are still coming over in lorries, trucks, and
flying. I've heard a lot coming in through planes.
Flying, exactly. There's massive issues with that. I mean, people overstaying their visas. So we are being lied to. This country is being invaded, and this was kind of the main aim of the video. It wasn't just discussing whether there are people smugglers, but also discussing, is it actually possible to stop the boats? I know this video, by the way, was filmed before you left Raise the Colours. So I know with Raise the Colours, their aim was to stop the boats, physically confront them on the beaches. And the UKIP had the same goal. Now, I went out there with the goal in mind of trying to figure out if it's actually possible. And I mean, what do you think? Do you think it's possible to confront the gangs and stop the boats from leaving? I
do think it's possible, but I think that we have to be realistic and we have to understand what that actually entails and what it means. It's all well and good saying we're going to put boots on the ground in France, but then if we see a dinghy being held up in the air by 100 migrants or 50 migrants, what is it that they're proposing that we do? I mean, because if you go anywhere near them, you're going to get arrested. You go anywhere near the boat while they're on it or touching it, you're going to get arrested. Yeah. So what this is actually about is the pressure. The pressure right now is needed more than anything. The pressure to put on the French authorities to understand that no matter who they ban from France, that a presence is there. If consistency is key here, and that's the problem. And we have to get away from just having one organization or one group of people being part of this fight back. It has to be a collective group effort, and something has to happen a lot sooner rather than later. I mean, I don't know if you know, but from the boats perspective, 174 men came in yesterday on 3 boats. So every day that we talk and every day that we don't put action in is the days that we're still being invaded. So I think it's possible. I think it takes some balls. I think it takes some getting out your comfort zone. But I think if you can have a presence before they get to the beach, if you can, we have prevented launches by putting pressure on the police to keep the migrants in the camps. And that worked, and that's not a lie. That's a fact. They knew we were there, and they prevented the migrants from coming to the beach. So, putting pressure on the governments. So that's my point of view. I don't know how you see it, but that's how I see it. It's not clear cut sending people to France, putting them on a beach or putting them on a town, and thinking then suddenly that's going to prevent people from getting on small dinghies. It's a longevity. It's a consistent thing, but we can't just wait. Waiting game is too long. It's been nearly a month and a half now since we've been on those beaches. You've been, I don't know when you went over there. BB Media went over there recently. He said they saw scattered. It's happening, and the weather this weekend is great for them. So there's going to be my informant, my person behind the scenes is telling me there's going to be a surge this weekend.
No, absolutely. But I think there's a concern, right? So whether taking 500 British activists, for example, over to France would be beneficial in terms of it could provoke an international incident. I believe that if there were 500, actual men to go out there and physically confront the gangs on the beaches, then it could turn into a low-level civil war. And that would definitely provoke a major international incident that could kind of pressure the French authorities into action, definitely. And I discussed that in the video. But what I also see, And I'm sure you would have seen it as well, because while you would have stopped that the one gang from being able to cross over the channel into Britain, unfortunately, that same gang would then go out on a different day. And what would happen is, right, so that you would know this by now, that from Calais to Dunkirk, that coastline is so vast that it would be incredibly difficult to patrol at all times, 24/7, you know, all angles of it, to stop the boat from physically leaving without the backing of the French or British military, right? Because you would face, I mean, let's be real here. It's not just the smuggling gangs. It's not just the NGOs. It is the British and the French establishment and, you know, this whole kind of global establishment that are working together in order to facilitate the invasion of Britain, right? So you wouldn't just face aggression from the gangs.
From every angle.
Exactly. It would come from the police as well, who would arrest all of you. And I don't know, it's just, while I believe that pressure absolutely works, I wanted to kind of figure out if there are other ways we could do it. We could achieve the same thing. If we could put, like, all of those resources that we take over to France, if we could put that into a different direction, that might achieve a better result and do it more efficiently.
There's other angles of this, especially here at home, that can be taken to put pressure on those that are allowing this to happen, as much as the French are allowing this to happen. And I'm totally in agreement. But what we also need to understand is that this has been going on for 20 years and nothing up to now has worked. And nothing up to now is coming into fruition in terms of being able to come up with the right idea. So it's about actually putting pressure. Now, I would say to you that even though you are right that other things need to be done, we have the highest minister in the French government talking about 10 English men, talking about banning English men from the towns, from the beaches, because of the pressure that was put using social media. Social media put pressure on the French government at the highest level to get them to ban English people. Now, imagine elevating that pressure by 10, using, you know, all those that you went with, all those that have been, you know, everyone making a stand, taking a stand. It doesn't have to be violent. It doesn't need to turn into a riot. It doesn't need to be confrontational. You do not need to confront anyone. What you need to do is embarrass them to a level that they've been embarrassed to, so then their action is then taken. The fact that the British government haven't actually said anything on the basis of, hold on a second, you're banning 10 British nationals from the territory of France, but you will not ban any migrants from entering our country, or the British government are not putting any bans on migrants entering our country. I made it very clear yesterday, and you made a very good point a minute ago. Everything is interconnected. Everyone is making money. It's a cash cow from top to bottom. Cash cow from the NGOs. I mean, I don't know if you've known, I don't know if you managed, if you know, if you seem to have some good people behind you. Look at the accounts of Utopia 56. It's common public knowledge. You can look into it. Look how much Utopia 56 are paying themselves of wages. It goes into the millions. You look at the French authorities, how much they're gaining from this money-wise. So like you're saying, there's other avenues that need to be taken. There's a lot of different ways. But we can't deal with all at once. So for me, my looking at this, I think, hold on a minute. We've had the French government at the highest level now take action because of our action. So we elevate that times 10 in the right manner, with the right people, with the right pressure. It might actually kickstart potential, like you're saying, a conversation that needs to be had on a bigger level. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I think conversation is incredibly important, which is why people take an extreme position on the right. Yeah. So when, like, you've got people go, and I think, by the way, it's fantastic that you guys got banned from France. And I do envy that in a sense. What I've noticed from the French establishment, so when we went up, we were, and I know you guys have been stopped as well, we were stopped directly outside one of these camps and had our passports seized. Mm-hmm. Now, these police officers, they're not allowed to interact with the migrants or even stop the boats on the way to the beaches. They're only allowed to touch them once they reach the beach, right? So now, while a lot of people are blaming the officers, I'm not going to blame them, and I'm going to go a step further and blame the ministers, blame the government, etc. Pressure is good. Pressure is absolutely fantastic. But take the money that we've raised, or or for example, the 500 British activists that we could take into France, Calais and Dunkirk to physically confront the migrant gangs. all I'm asking is, could we take that into a different direction and achieve a better result? Because all I'm seeing at the moment, especially if you go to any of the Somali camps in Calais, you're going to see them coming out with knives. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, we had a knife pulled on us.
Exactly, it's concerning. When we went up there, we
didn't even know until after, when one of the lads in the back of the car reviewed the image and saw the lad had it up his sleeve, and it was at the back of the car. And Ryan had only just got back in the car. Serious situations, and scary as well. Of everything that I'm trying to do differently, it's scary. We've done the protests, we've done that, we've done this. Nothing's working, nothing's listening. I mean, people are, there's some criticism towards me that that I'm a bit of a hothead of it. I just see things for what they are. I mean, there's too much talking going on, and the talking has been going on for months, and we are now in a position where I just feel very saddened that I look at the generation of our grandfathers and what they did for us, and what they saw and what they went through, and the PTSD that they ended up having because of everything, and for us to just sit there and go, wow, we can do this. It's like we need a shock factor. We need people to realise that we're losing our identity, we're losing our country, we're losing everything, and people just don't realise how important it is. And this total waiting game of doing things, something needs to give now. And for me, going over to France, causing a riot is definitely not the right choice. And the only way to stop the boats entirely from hitting the shores is putting 10 to 20,000 English and British lads on the beach. But it's just not going to happen, and it won't happen consistently. So there needs to be a real structured plan. But the plan needs to happen now. We can't wait till March, April. So I'm going to go on.
No, I was just going to say something to that final point. I agree that the talking now, like for example, Charlie Kirk was the olive branch, right? There has been enough talking. There has been enough talking, and it is time for action. And I'm fed up of people just sitting on their asses, not doing anything, turning out once every 3 months for a single rally, feel like they're changing the world, right? We need action now. But while that is the case, I feel like there's a growing number of talk at the moment about civil war. And let's kind of clear the air a little bit here as well. Civil war, when people call for civil war, they're calling for it against the wrong people, right? If you heard of a faraway land, while your own country is an absolute shithole, if you hear of a faraway land that is offering all these incentives, everyone here would absolutely take it, right? It's the government that are deliberately flooding these countries with migrants. Let's not forget that. And I remember, like we saw. Prime Minister Kami in Canada the other day started openly talking about the New World Order, right? He started openly talking about it. The New World Order, the one world government, all of that can only happen through a civil war, in my opinion, right? Yeah. We don't want to divide more, we want to unite.
Unfortunately, it's hard enough to try and get everyone to go to France, let alone start a civil war. So the problem is unity. I've seen it for many years. I've been doing this for years. And I've watched movements destroy themselves and do that through big egos, through money, through everything else. And listen, we're all trying to have our part in it. I think civil war is just not. It'd be great for everyone, for all of us for us to go, right, we need to push a button and shit needs to go down. But people are too comfortable. I mean, like I said, it's hard enough getting people to come and do what's right in France, let alone to start. But the main point of this all is that I'm going to just so you're aware of what I'm trying to achieve here. What I'm trying to achieve is consistency in France. Like right now, I have 10 cars ready to go on the 24th into the 25th of January. They're full of 5 men in each car. They're all good lads. They all know each other. They've all been vetted. They all know that they're none of them are there to cause any dramas. Those cars and people on boats, on foot and by plane will be entering France. They're going to be given a location and they're going to go there and they're going to show a presence. Now, what will that achieve? Will that stop that boat? Probably not on that day, but what it does is it puts pressure, and it's time a statement was made. Yes, okay, I fully appreciate that does nothing for the longevity and the consistency, but Jesus Christ, I mean, something has to give. And if imagine if you have what we've done, what you've done, tenfold, social media posts, live streams of people within those those places that near the camps, near the beaches, and it elevates it and think, bloody hell, like what's going on? Like there's loads of English lads all over the place and British lads. You know, it's a shock factor. You commit violence, you've lost. You start a riot, you've lost. You start a riot with the police, you've lost. You make us look like idiots. You know, that's the last thing that's needed. But some pressure is needed and something that's never been done before. And putting English and British boots on the ground quite soon is what's needed. And I won't shy away from that because I've been there enough to know that if we as a small collective group, which we have been, can cause such a storm, imagine what you could do with 50 lads that are in different parts. I mean, I don't know if you agree with it. I mean, you don't have to agree with it. That's my point of view. But I think it's time that a statement was made, and waiting and doing calls. It's just not. It's not right. The British and English don't wait. We need to do something now with the right people and the right mindset, and that's just my point of view.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next time you go. You're going late January.
24. The 24th.
Keeping out for some content. Are you going with them? Because I thought you were one of the people banned.
Yeah, so So I'm going to fly into another country. And I'm going to travel in. I don't mind saying that because they'll never see me. They'll never find me. So it is what it is. That's what I'm going to say. Because how can I send people there and not go myself? And if that risks what it is that I'm risking, listen, James, my name hasn't been mentioned. No one has said Danny Tomo is banned from France. You know, Ryan and Razor Colours are doing what they're doing, and I wish them well. I hope they're successful. But it doesn't mean other people can't do things as well. I think that's where their problem lies, that they don't want other people doing other things. And unfortunately, this isn't their show. This is a collective group of patriots around the United Kingdom that need to come together and do what's needed now. So that's just how it is. They might not like it, but that's how it is. So we're gonna send people in a controlled manner to France, and we're going to put pressure. And we're going to get them to be known. I want people to be holding English flags in grave lines. I want English flags of 20, 30 lads with English flags on grave lines. I want those images to be beamed back to the UK, and I want it to go viral on Instagram and X to show the British public that we are not going to lay down. Bloody dog. Go on, out. We're not just going to sit back and just let this happen. And the boats came over yesterday. This weekend there's going to be more boats. So yeah, I wish everyone well with their endeavours. But like I said, this is why I had BB on yesterday. So I had you on today. This is a group effort. We have to unity is key with this. I was having a chat with Tommy the other day. I said, mate, we need everyone to just take hold of some part of this, because this is the biggest issue that the UK is facing right now. The reality is we have some very dangerous men that are living in communities that are normally only in big cities, or these crimes happening in big cities. They're now happening everywhere, and people are scared. Women and children are scared, and we are, as a country, are just sitting there talking about it. I mean, imagine if it was you. I mean, you're young, yeah.
Yeah.
People that are watching this now, imagine your today. A migrant has been charged with the sexual assault of a child under the age of 13. Can we just for one second think about what that means? I mean, how the fuck has someone managed to enter our country and within a few months of being here sexually assault someone under the age of 13, a young girl? I mean, that's the level that we're at. What are we going to do? People are going to get angry and wait until it's their daughter or their mother or their sister that gets the, it's coming, because we've got enough wrong-uns in this country. James, we've got a lot of wrong-uns in this country. We've got a lot of people that need a lot of, a lot of wrong-uns. And the last thing we need to do is import people that have no respect for women, no respect for young girls. I've got a migrant phone. We're about to start a documentary on it because it's so powerful. I've actually given it to someone else. I don't think I'm the right person to do it because it's for the cause. But that migrant phone proves that this migrant from I'm not going to say where he's from, but from Africa, has an obsession with young white girls.
There was a guy in one of the Rochdale ringleaders, Curry Rolf, and I did a little investigation into him. It's still up and coming, guys, but it'll be out on Vox Pop Live probably next year. And he raped, I don't know what I can say on your YouTube channel, but let's just say he did some proper vile stuff. He has been up for deportation 3 times, losing an appeal as late as 2017. He has been spotted in exactly the same parts of Rochdale where he terrorized his victims.
What I want to finish on is people to understand one very important factor. Yes, I'm a little bit hot-headed. Yes, I'm a little bit angry at it sometimes, but I feel the pain of what's coming and I care. And I think for me, when I sit there and I know what needs to be done and it's not being done, it frustrates me very, very much. I've always been the same way. I will never change for anyone. I will never be what someone else wants me to be, because that's not who I am. I'm a patriot, I'm a Christian, and I care. I care about this country. I care about its future. I care about the kids, my kids that are growing up in this country. And what I want to do in France is not violent. So for anyone that thinks I'm just going to go over there and cause a riot, this is entirely untrue. That's not my intention, and I'll make sure that doesn't happen. My intention is to put pressure. We have to stop talking. Okay, we have to stop. Like seriously, we have to stop talking, because it's getting us nowhere and it's achieving nothing. We know what needs to be done. It doesn't need to be long-winded. It doesn't need to be this, that, and the other. I wish everyone that is part of the cause to bring the stop to the boats and to do what they want to do to get this done. Good luck to you, and I hope you succeed, but please leave me the fuck alone to do what I need to do and stop fucking having a go at me. All right? I walked away because it was the right thing to do. I asked you not to talk about me, and you've pulled me in. I'm not going to be involved in a tit for tat. I'm not going to get involved in infighting. I know what I'm about. I know what my intentions are. And my intentions are, my idea was Operation Overlord. The sentiment that I came up with was because of what my grandfather went through in the 1940s. And you can say what you want about me. You can make up lies. You can try and push people to hate me. You can try and get people to discredit me. But I will see this through, one way or the other. I will never walk away, no matter how much drama or slander comes my way. And that's it. So I'll be back on tomorrow. Tomorrow, I said it yesterday, but tomorrow we're going to pull the maps up. I'm going to show you where we're going to be going. And I'm not going to hide it. I want the French to know we're coming. I want the French to know they fucked up. I want the French to be worried. I want the French to be looking out. And I want them to be watching these videos. I want them to realise that without us, they would have lost their country. Without us, they would have lost everything. My grandfather, like yours, and the Americans, gave them their country back when they surrendered like little sausages. So I find it very insulting that they're trying to ban people. And my name hasn't been mentioned. No one has written me a legal letter. No one has posted on any of my emails to tell me that Daniel Thomas or Danny Tomo has been banned. So I will be going to France, and I'll be standing with my English and British brothers to send a clear message to the French authorities and to the British that this consistency will continue, be it through my means, be it through Raise the Colours means, be it through James's means, be it through UKIP's means, be it through whoever. This has to be a unified operation. This cannot be about one group. And that is the end of it. I love you all.